Salaam alaikum, Imam. The counseling Sahabi, Hudhayfa ibn al-Yaman, radiallahu anhu. There's three characteristics, and many more that we'll discuss later, inshallah, but three that I like to use to screen people for Islamic counseling psychology. The first, of course, as everybody knows, secrecy, the ability to keep a secret. And I know with a lot of the Imams, it gets really hard to hold on to that knowledge and not be able to share it with anybody and not even be able to process a case with anyone out of fear of exposing somebody. So that's something that inshallah will be provided with people that complete a certain phase in this program, being part of a network. But the second one, fidelity and flexibility, being able to follow a framework. Like when we discuss later the practice standards and the codes of ethics, at what point do you tell somebody, I'm sorry, I cannot help you? And is it even possible to say that? This is why we'll introduce the dhiyafa model, the hospitality model, and build from fiqh al-dhiyafa, the fiqh of hospitality, that not everybody is a guest. If they're a guest, yes, absolutely. But what happens if somebody sees you in the supermarket? And you know how it feels. Hey, Imam, I just have a question, or I've been meaning to talk to you. And if you said, well, call the masjid and book an appointment, they take it as though you're being offensive. Well, why would the Imam not talk to me, right? So this is an administrative challenge that needs to be addressed, and we'll talk about it later. But nonetheless, fidelity and flexibility is important. So you have some sort of code of ethics and practice standard that you follow. And then when it comes to therapy, you have your own approach and you stick to it. The flexibility is about adapting to the person's culture, preferences, religious stages of change, reactants, and coping styles, what we've discussed earlier. And we'll go into each one of those in full detail, inshallah. The last, but not least, of course, is the quick-wittedness, like Hudhayfa ibn al-Yaman had. And this is something that I believe most, if not all, Imams really have. Because imagine, you just gave a khutbah, and there's tons of people coming, they want to talk, and somebody has a question, and you're able to jump from one to the next. You're able to respond very quickly, alhamdulillah. So the idea is having that quick-wittedness in therapy is about holding on to several different things, because really good therapy, eventually you'll start to see patterns in the person's behaviors, and that's where you start to target. So those three factors, ask yourself, do I have that? Are you able to keep a secret? Definitely you are, alhamdulillah. You're able to have fidelity, you're able to stick to a structure, at the same time be flexible, alhamdulillah, and that quick-wittedness. So I believe you have it, and inshallah ta'ala, based on those principles, we can build a lot more. Jazakallah khair, alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.